Do you think young people's digital literacy skills are going up or down over time?
I think they're going down because most people nowadays are using like AI and like ChatGPT.
I would think that it has gone up.
I feel like it would have gotten better because I feel like more children are being raised on computers and stuff.
I reckon it would have gone up with how popular like gaming and social media is becoming.
Well, would you be surprised that actually it's going down?
No way! No, yes, I would be very surprised.
I feel like how is that possible if everyone's using technology and we're such like a online world?
Well, that's why I'm here to ask you, what's going on?
I don't know. Wait, I'm actually baffled. The old people...
We're turning into the old people that don't know how to use technology.
Yeah, despite what you might expect in a world that's more digital than it's ever been, recent tests show that ICT literacy is actually going down.
Do you know what ICT stands for?
No, I don't think so.
No.
That's what's wrong with the world.
I would guess interactive computer technologies.
Technologies is right.
I reckon intelligence is the first one. Don't know what C is.
Information is the first one.
Okay, information. I'm going to say information and computational technology.
That's so close.
Information and communication. Yay!
10 points.
The test is based on really extensive research, and it tests students' ability to use ICT and digital tools appropriately, safely and effectively across a range of real-world contexts.
Stephen is the CEO of Akara, which runs the NAP ICT test. It happens every 3 years, and unlike NAPLAN, not every student takes part. For this latest test in May 2025, 641 schools were involved and more than 10,000 students were tested.
Students complete tasks online that simulate real-life activities. So they do things such as creating digital presentations, analysing data, they design algorithms and respond to scenarios involving online safety and ethical understanding.
And the test found that 50% of Year 6 students and 37% of Year 10 students reached the standard of proficient. And that's a pretty significant drop from the previous test in 2022, and some of the worst results since testing began in 2005.
So the results are kind of interesting. They're quite mixed.
Stefan is a researcher who's very interested in how young people use digital technologies. And that's Stefan, not to be confused with Stephen from before.
The Year 6 results have been quite steady over the last 20 years since this testing started. And although they went down a bit this time, they haven't changed that much. There was a drop for the Year 10s though, and that's a really interesting one to look at.
And finding it really interesting to look at them, I am. Which brings us back to why.
I guess because like some of the content that's on social media, like rotting our brains, could definitely contribute to it.
The brain rot, it comes for us all.
Maybe it's become too easy to interact with, that it's not really something you have to consciously learn. That might decrease the literacy somewhat.
Everything does it for you automatically, so you don't need to kind of know how to do it.
Well, that could be part of it.
Young people are actually more immersed in digital technologies than they ever were, but they actually feel less confident about dealing with technology. I think that's something that's going to continue because technologies like AI are what they call black boxes.
A black box is kind of what it sounds like. A box that you can't see inside, so you don't really know how it works.
They're in the computer.
They're in the computer?
So it's very hard to see how they do things because the mechanisms that they work by are hidden from you.
And he's not just talking about computers themselves, but the software and algorithms that determine what we see, which can be pretty mysterious. And AI is making that black box even blacker and boxier. It's taking away our need to process data ourselves and to work out how to do something.
What we see from this report is that certainly by the age in Year 10, students are using AI a lot. They're using it at school and at home.
Basically all students do nowadays is use AI for everything, and it is helpful in ways but also unhelpful sometimes.
Yeah, I guess they're just kind of losing a bit of independence and relying a lot on the AI to do the work for them.
And Stefan says that technology is changing so fast that it's hard for everyone to keep up.
With young people in particular, they have to try and make sense of this really complex world that we're in. And actually, it's not just young people, it's everybody. And we're all struggling to make sense of it. So we're all in this strange space where we're continually trying to play catch up with what the technology is doing.
Suppose the next question is, does it matter? If AI can do so many things for me, why do I need to know how to do them?
You know, those core skills for us are really important. Using AI, you've got to know how to ask it questions. You got to know whether it's hallucinating. In order to teach about AI, kids have got to be literate, they've got to be numerate, we've got to strengthen those skills, scientific understanding about our history, those core disciplines that have served humanity well over the last thousands of years really are things that still will stand that test of time. They still make us humans, and we need that to engage with artificial intelligence.
I think there are two things that young people really need at the moment, and everybody needs in this changing society, and that's the ability to critically look at information that's coming at you and work out what it means, how true it is. And the second thing is the ability to be flexible. It's about how you use whatever's around you to deal with the problems that are happening in the workplace or everyday life. So it's sort of more of a general skill about being able to make the best use of what's around you at the time, because those things will keep changing.